sewing the bucket dress, which was created by one of our fellow colleagues. It's a very easy garment to make, and if you're just starting out and this is your first fashion garment that you're going to make, it's a very handy pattern to have and test out and try. So as you can see, this is the front of the dress, and the back of the dress consists of two straps which create the really wide and low armholes. This is the biggest feature of the dress, which is why it's called the bucket dress, and you can see it a wee bit better from the side view. It's kind of treated as a pinafore as it's got a very large gaping armhole. So what you need first is your front pattern for the front of the dress and your back pattern for the back of the dress. And then you'll need a square rectangle for the straps, which we can measure out and cut out at a later stage. So this is the front of the dress, and as you can see it's only half of it. And this is the side seam of where you would add more length on if you want a bigger size dress. And then this is the back pattern, which again is only half of the shape. So where you can see that half of the dress ends, this is called the centre front piece. So this piece is actually cut to fold on the fabric. This is when you fold the fabric over, lay this line flat against the fold and cut, and this should give you an even symmetrical shape of the dress. So you want to fold over your fabric just enough so that the pattern will fit onto it, and then you want to line up this edge that I just mentioned on the fold of the fabric, so the folded edge of the fabric. Then you're going to pin your pattern directly onto both sides of the fabric, so make sure you get both layers in there when you're pinning. Then after this you're just going to cut along the pattern that you've pinned down on the outside edges. Just make sure that you don't cut on the fold of the fabric that you folded earlier on. As you can see, you've now got a full front of your dress, and when you cut on that fold, that gave you the pattern twice over. Now you've got an equally symmetrical front of your dress. And then if you just move on to your back panel as we've done here, just do the exact same, cut it on the fold, cut it out, and you'll have an equally symmetrical back panel. So I'm actually just going to pass you on to Lisa, and she'll explain how to sew up your dress.
But doing the sleeves if you feel confident. But I'm going to show you what you're going to do. Now, normally in the studio, we would have an overlocker. Does anyone know what an overlocker is?
No.
No.
So that basically, when you sew a garment up, you'll see it in your own clothes. I got it. It basically finishes the edges off, so you're not left with any raw edges, so that your fabric can. So can you see that?
Oh, them.
See that stitch? So if you were in the studio, we would be getting you to overlock these whole pieces, so that when you sew them up, we've not got any raw edges that are are going to fray. But we've not got any overlockers at home. I don't even have my overlocker at home. So I'm going to teach you. We're going to sew up the sides first, and the sides are going to be what we call a French seam. So that's quite fancy for anyone that hasn't sewn before. Has anyone done a French seam before?
I think so.
No. So you're going to put your sides together. So has Hannah put on the pattern pieces the sides are? So sides together. So you've got your centre front and your centre back, and then your sides, which are this part and that part. So basically the shortest side of the pattern is the sides. So that's the shortest side of both your front and your back. You're going to sew together. So what I want you to do is pin them it together all the way down, so it looks like that. but really like a really small seam you're going to leave. So I would say about a centimetre you're going to leave. So if you can see that, I've pinned it together and I'm going to leave about a centimetre. So you're stitching a centimetre all the way along there. So pin it all the way down, then get your needles and thread and stitch that whole side together. And then once it's stitched together, you are going to fold it back on itself so that that raw edge is in there. And then you're going to sew it all the way down there so that when you it's like a nice unfrayed inside. Now see if that's too complicated, forget about that, just leave it raw and just sew it up. Just sew up one side and sew up your other side. Are you okay? Do you think you'll be okay with hand sewing, Zoe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you're just stitching both sides together. And if you can do that French seam, do it. So you're basically sewing up the two side seams and then you're turning it inside out and putting the sides like this. So you're turning it inside in itself and sewing it again so that the frayed edge is inside there. You can't see it. But if you can't do that, just sew the two side seams up and that's absolutely fine. So then once you've got them sewn up, you've kind of got the basis of your dress. Then the next thing, I mean, I don't know whether just to leave it there for now and then come back, wait till you've done your sides, because actually now that I'm thinking about it, we kind of do need our straps. So I'll show you very, very quickly how you would do your straps. So you should have had a rectangle about 50 centimetres. Where's my thing? You should have had a rectangle about, no, sorry. 50 centimetres long by about 14 centimetres wide. And I'll just show you what, if you can do this at home, try it, and don't worry if you can't, because we'll come back later and I'll show you what to do. So see with the rest of your fabric, if you measure out a rectangle 50 centimetres by 14 centimetres, which will look something like that. Now you cut two of these because you need two straps. So then you'd have two of these, and all you're doing is sewing it up, folding it over, sewing it up, and then turning it inside out so that you basically have two straps. And then one strap gets sewn to this bit. The other strap gets sewn to the other side. And then at the back, it comes down and gets attached to your back piece that's rounded. So I'll show you what that should look like. And again, guys, we said that we were going to try this. This is probably the most complicated thing we've done, Zoe. So don't worry if you struggle with it. Everything else has been pretty straightforward, but we thought we would just give this a go and have a bit of a more challenging task. So it should look, once you sew it, it should look something like that, with the big bucket at the side. So I'll pop this on so you can see it. See, as you start to do it, I think it will come together. This is a bit small for me, this one, sorry. So I've taken that strap, and then once you put your other strap on, should look something like that. Obviously with all these bits not split and completely sewn up. So I'll send out the handout. I'll email the handout to you in the next 20 minutes or so. Have a go at it, and if you need to come back on, then by all means do. Zoe, if you're struggling with it, sorry, there's my phone. If you are struggling with it, Zoe, just patch it, but have a go anyway and try and put it together. If not, that's why I put a t-shirt in, and I'll send you the handouts for the t-shirt manipulation and turning the jeans into a skirt, and you can have a go at any of them. Does that sound okay? Yeah?
If I don't actually have the stuff that you've got in your box, but I've got the other stuff.
Oh, what stuff do you not have?
Like the bits of paper to cut out the dress and that.
Oh, do you not have the pattern?
No.
Ah, that's fine then. What I'll do is, have you got the fabric?
No.
No, oh God, I thought she'd give you that. Right. Sorry, Zoe. Well, it's good for you just to join in and see what we do.
Yeah.
Normally it's a wee bit, yeah, maybe it's sometimes a wee bit more straightforward than that. What I'll do is, though, I will get this sent over to you so that you can have a go at it maybe next week. Because it's a gorgeous wee dress, and see if you manage to get it together. It's so handy to have in your cupboard. And if you don't manage the French seams at the side, Khalees, maybe your mum will know what a French seam is.
Mum, do you know what a French seam is?
No.
No, she don't.
You can Google it as well. Remember, you can always go online. But if you don't manage your French seams, just don't worry about having frayed insides, because when we finally one day get back to the workshop, we can let you on the overlockers and you can get the insides all sorted. But for now, if you need to leave it frayed, then that's fine. Later on, if you manage to get your dresses together, I'll show you what you're going to do with the necklines. And round here, we're going to basically hem them. So it's just basically turning it doubly over and stitching so that you finish it. But I'll send you the handout, have a go. Zoe, I'll get your number off mail and I will send you the handouts for the stuff that you've got so that you can have a wee go at it. There's actually a video of me turning a pair of jeans into a skirt, which is quite easy. I mean, you guys didn't no bother, Khalees and Shannon, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got mine handy.
Can you show it, Shannon?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
It's at the bottom of the box. I've got my cushions as well.
Oh, please show whatever you've got, and if you've got your tie-dye stuff, I'll send all this to you. I'll send you pics anyway, Zoe.
My cushion's in my room.
That's it. So that's how your skirt would turn out.
Ignore my big orange socks.
They're cool. There we go with it. Brilliant.
And that's two of my wee cushions.
Which are so cute. They're gorgeous.
just-
But you didn't. Did you get the Warden?
No, not yet.
I see. Bloody hell. We'll get on top of these deliveries. Sometimes the kits get a bit mixed up. Zoe, normally you get your kit delivered on a Monday, but it's pure frantic trying to get it all together. What's that you've done, Shannon?
Made a wee dog toy out of the leg that was left off the jeans.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. How inventive. Does the dog like it?
I've not given it to her yet. I've only just made it.
Very good. That's amazing. Thanks so much for showing. I'll send you pictures of all these though, so you've got an idea of what everyone's been working on. There's only
Okay.
4 of us today. There's normally a wee bit more. What we normally do is, Zoe, we now go away for the day and we work on what it is that we've got to work on. But don't worry if you don't manage, you can do it at your own time. But we do come back at 2:30 just for half an hour. Never even lasts half an hour, and we show what we've managed to get done that day.
Okay.
That's how it normally works on a Wednesday. And as I say, if you're given the dress a go, Shannon, Khalees, and you're stuck, give me a shout. But give it a go when I send you the handout if you can, because it's a great wee dress to have. And as I say, Zoe, I will get you all of that over for next
Okay.
week.